What's up everybody, Brian Tong here, and yes, I've got the iOS 17 public beta. You all can download it and install it on your iPhones if you have a iPhone XR, a XS, or higher. I always recommend, hey, before you do it, make sure you back up your phone. Also do it at your own risk. I typically do not advise people do it on their main driver for their phone. You can if you want, but some of your apps may not perform the same, and then obviously battery life may be a little different because it's not typically as optimized. But the public beta is here. It's been out for a few days. The developer beta has been out for a longer time than that, but I really wanted to give it a long time to play around and highlight the features that I really use the most, the features that I think that you're going to use the most, and also just some little gems here that you may or may not know or have thought about that are also part of iOS 17. So I think obviously one of the biggest things is cosmetically, you look at this, it does look similar, but we're going to talk about contact posters. And contact posters, these are really fun because they are a way for you to now share your contact card in different ways visually that are just really attractive, and you can customize and just think of it as like your lock screen, but now for your contacts. And so I have this one here, and I guess I'm gonna edit it and show you different options we have. There's a Memoji version you can do. You can do like your initials and play around with the colors, but like you'd expect, if I hit customize here, I'm already gonna go into my poster, and this is one that I've already kind of selected. You can move it around, and you can zoom in and out and take advantage of pictures that have the depth effect. Also, you can play around with your photo library and find different ones. So here's one that I just took. I was in Hawaii, obviously on a little mini moon, and so again, play around with it. You can change the weight of the font here. It can be thicker, it can be thinner. You can do things like change the color of the font. They give you some suggested colors that match with what you're doing, then also stylize different fonts. So just a way to make your contact poster something of yours. And here's the thing, once you get it all done, and again, there's different styles. I guess I'm going to continue with this one. You can also change, this is kind of like the little your little icon that is shared with things like messages as well. You can crop that and kind of change how that is framed. So I'm going to do that here. Okay, I like that. Get a little nice and tight on me. And there's also different filters if you want, but I'm just going to go and I'm just going to keep it El Natural. And so I'm done here. I'm going to hit update. And so it's going to give me a new contact poster. And what this is going to do now is, this is the contact poster when I interact with someone, whether it's over messages or a call, someone that I know that we can share them. But here's the cool thing about it, right? Not only will this be something of your own, but one of the biggest things in iOS 17 is AirDrop and all its different uses. But I think the big thing here is name drop. And we've seen it, but I wanted to show it to you on camera when you have two phones. Now these both have iOS 17's public beta on it. This is the iPhone 14 Pro. This one over here is the iPhone 13 Pro. And then when I bring them together like this, we'll be able to see the water drop effect. And it'll now prompt me to share contact. Now these are both on both Brian Tong phones, but you see I have different contact posters for each. So I'm just gonna share away. And in a moment, these will transfer over to each other. So that's how you do it with a friend or buddy. Now, what's also cool though here, right? AirDrop is really evolved within iOS 17. So not only is it just for something like your contact poster, let's say if I go over here and I'm just going to right now go to my photos and I'm going to choose a few photos. Let's just select them. And what's cool is, for a while you had to typically put in go through the whole AirDrop sharing sheets, but now with the new AirDrop in iOS 17, again, I'm going to put these guys together, you'll see that animation here, and now it's prompting me to share these photos that I just selected over from my iPhone 14 Pro over to the iPhone 13 Pro. You'll see the status that it approved here, that they got it. I'm going to click on these. And now when I go to my photo album on this 13 Pro, you can see that these three photos are the ones that I just AirDropped from this phone to here. So no longer going through the sheets, really simple. It also works on other things like, let's try this. I'm going to go to a web page on this. Let's go, sure, it's a Sonos delivery. And again, I'm going to bring these two, the meeting of the minds, and they'll exchange that information. And what will happen is that it asks me, do I want to share this to the other phone? I do. I'm going to share it. And now what should load is the same web page from this phone to this phone. So if you're looking at something like a recipe, or I don't know, you're online shopping, you just want to share it with someone really quickly, bringing them together is the best way to do it. So it just shows how AirDrop has evolved. If you're listening to a song on Apple Music, over here, you can share it with someone, they can listen to it as well. So just a lot of cool ways that AirDrop has evolved in iOS 17 and is really being used in a lot of cool different ways. Now, another feature that is a huge standout for me, it has to be standby. So what I have here is this Belkin 2-in-1 charging stand with MagSafe as well. And I'm just gonna put my iPhone here landscape horizontally, and I'm gonna lock it now. And what you're gonna be able to see here as I kind of set this up towards this camera is this is standby mode, and it basically turns your iPhone into a display with widgets that you can control with a clock, but really kind of some fun ways to customize this. And obviously this is going to be something that's perfect whether you're next to your bed or maybe somewhere in your kitchen, and you can tell this is going to be something that Apple is going to be using on other devices in the future. But what you'll see right here is this is kind of the widget look where I have two different widgets that I can swipe at and change around. Here's like my calendar, here's reminders, here's you know, we have the weather, and then also on this side I have other things like the stock app. I have another different style of clock if I want to, even something like being able to access my podcast and play it. You can also customize these, so I'm gonna move over here and I'll do a long press, and it's gonna need my Face ID, there you go, okay? And what you can do here now is I can hit plus, and you'll see access to a bunch of my different apps. You got battery, app store, books. I'm just gonna do something simple. We'll add the battery widget. It's gonna ask me to add the widget. And then so now for this side, this becomes one of my available widgets. If I just click out here now, you can see that the battery for all my different devices that are connected is an option here. I can swipe through these and really just kind of set it the way that I want. If I just want to see the date really big, and then over here, wake up to the date and weather, I can do that. But also there's other things that you can do in standby mode. This is the widgets setup, which I like the most. You also have the ability to, if I swipe over here, let me show my face again. This is the photos, which accesses your photos. This is obviously a nice one from my wedding. If I swipe here, here's a different gallery from Hawaii. Here's different cities. This is my nephew. So these are pulling also from some of your memories, but you can access and look at these photos as well. So you can also customize and add photo galleries if you want. Now let's swipe over one more, and this is the different clock faces that you have. If I swipe up and down, you'll see the different styles. There's 5 of them total. And then I like this one over here because it has an international map, and you can click on the different times to see what time it is in different cities and locations around the world. But here's the cool thing. You'll notice as I've been showing you, there's kind of 3 different modes in standby that you can look at. But right here in the middle, you'll see a timer here. I've set a timer earlier. And if you have any live notifications going on, this is the timer. You can see it's filling out right now. I think I set it for 20 minutes, but also if I have multiple live notifications, look at this. This is a sports score that I've been following as well here. It's NBA, Summer League, Nuggets, and the Knicks. So there's a lot of information that can be displayed on here, whether it's live notifications or whether it's things like your widgets or your photos or different clocks. So this feature is really going to be best on an iPhone 14 Pro, and then obviously other future devices that end up having the always on display. And sure, you know, it'll work on other phones, but the display will turn off, and the point is to always be able to see the info that it's showing off and being displayed. We know that the low power always on display, that's currently only on the iPhone 14 Pro right now, but we are expecting to see it on future devices from Apple. But this makes the iPhone something more than it already is. It makes it more than a phone, and you know what? That's a good Apple. And then another cool thing is this has MagSafe Memory. And what does that mean? If you have different MagSafe stations that you can dock this to and charge, let's say your bedroom versus maybe your kitchen or one in your living room, it actually remembers what widget and what clock layout you have set up. So you can go to different rooms and it's gonna remember those settings. So that's also really slick. Okay, so let's take this guy here, put it aside, and we know communication is obviously a big thing when it comes to iOS 17. So I want to show you a really fun one. You know, we're always dinking around with our phone, doing our own thing, and sometimes someone calls you, but you don't really want to pick it up, but you don't know what it's about. So now they have visual voicemail that is a transcription of that call. So let's just see what it looks like. All right, so I have a call here. It's from Shauna. I'm just gonna kick her directly to voicemail right now. And so what you'll see here is it says it's waiting, and in a moment we'll be able to see what Shauna's asking me. Let's be honest. Someone like my mom calls me a lot. Sometimes she calls me too much, even though I love her so much. Let's see here. Okay, it's telling me what Shauna's saying right now. We're starting to get some transcriptions. Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of you. I'm going to grocery shopping, and I need to know what you want to eat for dinner because once I get home, okay, food is important, so let's take this call, okay? Hey, love, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I'm just showing people at home, like, I can see the transcription, and when it's important, it's about food, I'm gonna take the call. So I took the call.
Very important. You need to answer now. I need to know if you need orange juice.
Orange juice? Yes, babe, do it. We got the OJ. Okay, thanks, love. Okay. Okay, bye. So that's a cool way of how live voicemail works. Super slick, super subtle, but it's real time, and you jump right in the call, and they're probably wondering like, why didn't you answer earlier? I would say typically if your wife is calling, you should probably pick up and not ignore that. So, okay, let's go into now messages, right? Messages, there's some stuff that maybe you weren't familiar with. Of course, when I go to messages here, new thing really quick, I just swipe to do a quick reply to a message. So instead of, holding down and then hitting reply, that's still there. And so are kind of some of your quick reactions, but you can just do a quick swipe to get access to that as well. Now, if someone though here wants to send you an audio message, like earlier, I had Shauna send me an audio message. I don't know if I just missed out on this, but I had no idea that you could actually hold. First of all, let's just play the message.
Hi, calling because I'm on my way to the grocery store and I need to know if you want your berries, your oranges, or if you need peaches because you ate.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause that. But if I hold the play button, now I have different options to play it at different speeds. So I could play it at 1x, 1.25x, 2x. I'm gonna play it at 2x to or actually 1.5 to kind of get this thing moving a little faster.
10 of them, and I didn't get.
And then also,
golden kiwis also.
You can see here,
season, so let me know if you want any
I'm actually out of my messages, and I can still hear the message. I'm gonna turn the volume down. So it really is now, it's real subtle, but little things that kind of add up. You can listen to an audio message while doing other things on your phone, adding a little bit of a multitasking feature to iPhone and iOS 17. Okay, now if I jump back into my messages, what you'll also see here is you no longer have what I guess you call it the app drawer, but you have this plus button here on the side. So I'm just gonna hit it now, and I think it's just a slicker, cleaner way so it doesn't look as just jumbled with so many icons. You have access here to all these kind of mini apps that you can do, whether it's photos, you got stickers, you have cash, you can swipe around, you can even take advantage of some of the new stuff here. But what I like about this is that if I go into the settings, you can actually customize and arrange these. So I can go into settings and I can go into messages, and then I can actually go to iMessage apps here. And when I go into iMessage apps here, it'll allow me to keep, different apps in that drop-down list or not. And so you can really customize what you want to see. I'm going to get out of that and go back into my messages. And one of the cool ones that I obviously want to show you that is new, this is check-in. And so why is this important? Again, a lot of these little subtle things are adding up to make this just so much better. Check-in lets you know, lets a friend know when you've arrived to your destination. And what it'll do is it'll also keep progress and track where you are in your journey. Let's say you're out one night and people are going home, it's late at night, you wanna make sure that they get home. This is what check-in is for. I'm gonna say, you can share the data that you want to. You really kind of wanna share all your location data to allow this to happen. But I think this feature is huge for safety, and it's a feature that you may not use all the time, but when you need it and when you want it, it's there, and I think that's really good. Also, you have Apple really pushed stickers hard. So yes, I've got to show you stickers, and there's already stickers from some of your apps that are made available that you can, throw on. Here's some Ted Lasso action if I wanted to. I just want to take the sticker and drag it on top of a message just to, it's my response, it's my fun way to play with it. But come on now, don't we want to make our own stickers? Now I have some really cool ones here. So let's just make a new one on the spot. I'm gonna hit plus here, and it gives me access to my photo gallery. Let's go with this one here. And then automatically, right, because with iOS 16, you can kind of cut out yourself from a background. it can see that and it knows that, okay, I obviously want to do this. I'm going to hit add sticker. And then if I want to add an effect to it, I can add these kind of like, there's a puffy effect that kind of gives it that pressed photo. There's a shiny effect. I'm going to just make it puffy and I'm going to hit done. And it's going to add it to my sticker list. The thing about it is you don't have to be in Messages to do this. If you're already just kind of perusing in your photo gallery, let's do something like, okay, I don't know if it's going to get this jellyfish, but let's just try. Okay. And I'm going to hit here. Yeah. You can see that kind of glowing outline. Okay. And I'm going to add sticker. And boom, I got a jellyfish sticker. It also works with live photos, with animations, to have fun with that. So stickers, I know some of you are going to love them. Some of you are going to hate them, but I mean, it could be kind of fun. I just feel like I'm the type of person that doesn't want to get things too cluttered, but it's there. Another new feature that is going to make me use them even more is interactive widgets. They are exactly what they sound like, widgets that you can interact with. So I have something like the podcast widget here, and now instead of just seeing things, I can actually click, press play, and start listening to whatever my different podcasts are directly from here. Without jumping into the podcast app, it'll show me my most recent podcast that I haven't listened to just instantly here in a widget. Let's go to some other ones. Like here, I have 3 different widgets that I place as reminders. I can then, again, interact on them and select the ones that I've done. Over here, this is for your smart home and HomeKit. I can turn on specific lights directly from here just by tapping on them. That's cool. And then even here with the Stocks app, I can click on the individual stocks if I want to see them, or click on the news and the latest article. And there you go. It's all here. So I think that I really haven't used widgets as much, at least on my actual home screen panels. But I think now, because they're a lot more interactive, I'm definitely going to use this. This might be the biggest feature that touches your heart the most. I showed you how to do stickers and photos, but now I'm here in my photo album with all my photos, and it can now recognize dogs and cats as pets and loved ones that you can name. So what I have here is, this is Henry and Harvey, and these are Shauna's sisters, 2 dogs. They're both Australian Collie St. Bernard mixes. And if you can see here, they have different patterns on their face, but they are pretty similar looking dogs. But guess what? iOS 17 can identify one of them from the other. So I'm going to go back here real quick and let's pull up this first picture. This is Henry. I'm going to hit the little icon down here and it recognizes, him. You see the face and you see that little bubble here? That's typically what we've seen when we've named family members. I'm going to name this pet, and this is Henry. Okay. And I'm going to go to next. Yes. Okay. Now I'm also going to go to my other photos in here, and this guy, this is, I'm going to name this pet again. This is Harvey. And, they look similar enough, but the patterns on their faces are different. I'm going to hit next and done. And so now moving forward, the iOS 17 photo gallery will be able to detect which one is Harvey, which one is Henry. Even if I have I think there's a picture of both of them together here. There we go. If I click on that, it's going to identify both by these bubbles that one of them is Henry and one of them is Harvey. This is really cool. So it works with dogs that look similar. Also, I have my niece Janaea and her cat Haku. And here's the fun, right? I can hit this little icon and it actually recognizes 2 faces here. Janaea in the back and then Haku up here, but I haven't actually named Haku yet. So if I go name this pet, I'm going to name the pet Haku. I'm actually allergic to cats, but there's another picture of Haku that I pulled from the collection. But now what makes this fun is if I go back into my photo albums, and you know how you have your people, pets and places. When I click here now, yes, I have my family members. Yes, I have my loved ones, but I also have Henry, Harvey, and Haku all in here as contacts or loved ones. You can't tell me you're not going to love this. This might be the most lovable feature of iOS 17. There's obviously so many other features here like here in iOS 17. Let's just open up this phone again. Got to put my head in there to get the Face ID. But we got to talk about offline maps, right? This is something that people have probably been begging for years from Apple Maps, and Apple Maps has gotten so good. I mean, I have no problem switching between either Google Maps or Apple Maps whenever I feel like it. I think Apple Maps is that good now, but they're finally bringing offline maps to the table. And why is this important? Well, hey, you go in some areas where you lose signal and the map just stops working. You don't want that anymore. Well, now you got offline maps. So I'm gonna do something like pop in a place that I love here out in LA to get like a yummy brunch. It's called Republic. And when I pull it up here, you have the distance, all the normal stuff that you see when you have a location or destination. I'm gonna pull that back down, and then when I hit here for more, there's an option to download the map, so I'm gonna download that. And what that allows me to do is in that region and along that path, it'll always let me know where to go, even if I lose signal. Now, this is gonna come in really handy when I do maybe long trips to the mountains, or even from LA to the Bay Area, or places that I'm just not familiar with. Going to Vegas, there's spots where you lose signal as well. So this is gonna be really helpful in that way. And then also, you have the ability in Maps to, let's just type in EV chargers, and you can now find and locate EV chargers along your path. It also will identify how many of the stations are potentially being used or occupied. So that is another new feature that is coming specifically to Apple Maps. Another feature here in Find My, if you have an AirTag, it can now be shared with up to 5 different people to know the location of that AirTag. This has been a huge request for families. It was kind of one of those things that I said, this is a no-brainer, it's got to come. Well, in iOS 17, you can now have a single AirTag and share that location with 5 different people that you trust. So that's a good Apple. FaceTime gets some cool features. I don't have anyone running iOS 17 that I want to harass and send a voicemail to right now, but trust me, FaceTime video voicemails, right? Catch that moment when you can't reach them. It's subtle, it's fun, but it just kind of adds to connecting to people more. And trust me, I'm gonna use this with my nieces, my nephews, all my family members. They're gonna get it whether they like it or not. Also, when you have a FaceTime call going on, there's gonna be a prompt that if you own a Apple TV 4K 2nd gen, you'll be able to throw that video call onto the Apple TV, put it on the big screen, and there's a lot more to talk about with Apple TV later. I mean, to me, it is one of the sleeper updates of this entire year from all the announcements, and I think it's going to change a lot of how people see Apple TV and use it in a lot of ways. Also, with FaceTime, they have these new reactions that are triggered by gestures that you make on camera, and this is gonna work whether you're using FaceTime video calls or third-party apps that have access to the API. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call Shauna right now, and let's see how this all works. And I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope it works properly. Okay, let's go. Okay, there you are. So let's try this and give it a go. There are 8 different reactions. We're gonna first start with hearts. I'm gonna try my best and form a heart with my hand. Oh, there you go. Okay, next up we got thumbs up. Woo! Thumbs down. Oh, okay, that is 3 of the 8 so far. Let's do a single peace sign. I'm supposed to get balloons here. Yeah, okay, what if we do double peace sign? I hold it like this. There we go. Confetti, confetti, y'all. Let's do 2 thumbs up. I think that should be fireworks. Fireworks. Okay, let's go with the bullhorns to rock out. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah. I don't know who's gonna use this, but someone will. And then we got 2 thumbs down for rain. That's sad. I hope no one uses this. That's just sad. So those are the 8 different built-in reactions that you can put, and I'm gonna end this call now. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Also, Apple's really leaning into helping out with mental health and allowing you to track your mood and your thoughts through the health app in iOS 17. And so you put in how you're feeling. I'm in the health app right now, and I'm just gonna get started. And every time it's like, asks you, how do you feel right now? And I can choose kind of based on this little very pleasant, slightly pleasant, unpleasant. I can do this and just kind of choose. I'm all good. So I'm gonna hit next. And then you can say what best describes your feeling. Just always happy. I'm always passionate. This is, but I'm just saying right now, yes, I'm making a video. This is fun stuff. So I'm gonna hit next. What is having the biggest impact on you? Probably my health, family, friends right now, tasks, sure. So you log this at different times during the day, and you can also turn on reminders so it reminds you to check in with the health app and continue to log your mood. But there's just so many features, so many things packed in here into iOS 17. I mean, I couldn't get through all of them. There's stuff in Safari, there's stuff in Notes, there's security, there's passwords, there's Apple Fitness. I mean, something that I use all the time. There's just so much packed into iOS 17, and I'm enjoying using it. I would always say, right, before you install it, this is the public beta. The full official release will be sometime in the fall, typically during the same time when the iPhone releases. So we're looking at September. That is just, geez, like 2 months away. We are so close to that. I will have plenty other videos covering some of the other operating systems that will be rolling out by then. But this was just kind of a look at the stuff that I use the most so far, some of the little gems that I found. And again, support-wise, iPhone SE2, iPhone XR, and then iPhone XS and higher. Those are the phones that you can run the public beta on and run the official iOS 17 when it comes out sometime in the fall, most likely September. So there you go, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm gonna keep on enjoying this myself. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace and love.